Let's get the fuck out of here. We gotta go.
Evacuation.
80-mile-an-hour winds.
This is insane.
Flying debris.
I don't know if it was just a growl of something, but something made a noise.
Something just tapped on the tent. But this way, we got that side open, but we can't see like what's on that side. That's it. What was that?
This video comes from a newer and relatively small YouTube channel called Degenerate Wilderness, known for chaotic outdoor trips often carried out in questionable weather. Their content mixes rough adventure with a sense of unpredictability, making each outing feel like it could turn into a survival scenario without warning. The group begins their trip at a location called Rattlesnake in Ohio. Everyone is in good spirits. They're joking around, showing off recently upgraded gear, lightweight chairs, improved sleeping pads, and inexpensive string lights they picked up online. One member even mounts a GoPro to his chest, remarking that at least the inevitable chaos will be captured clearly this time.
We made it to Rattlesnake down in somewhere Ohio. Pretty good. Got the string lights from Amazon. Wetsuits right there. Tarp we're gonna throw up. I just got this note. Which one is it? Nemo something.
Moonlight Elite.
Yeah.
Nemo chair.
Yeah, they're pretty nice. About a pound. Not bad
Very
at all.
expensive though, but
Yeah, really
Definitely
expensive. We just got, all three of us, upgraded our sleeping pads because the Amazon ones were not cutting it. Look at that. That's a sleeping pad.
Any concern about the incoming weather feels minor, like an inconvenience rather than a legitimate threat. But that attitude changes fast. A strong storm begins moving in much earlier than anyone expected.
Let's get the fuck out of here. We gotta go. Christian, come on. Is this the right way?
wait, might be more left.
I think it's
right.
left. Yeah, I think it's that way. Emergency evacuation.
Evacuation.
80-mile-an-hour winds.
This is insane.
Flying debris.
What starts as a relaxed camping trip abruptly shifts into something far more serious as thunderstorm alerts escalate into evacuation advisories. Wind gusts push past 80 miles per hour, and flying debris turns into a genuine danger. Even as the situation grows more intense, the group tries to keep the mood light with uneasy laughter. They decide to fall back to their vehicle, only to realize the key was left behind at the campsite. With the storm worsening by the minute, no one wants to make the return alone. They choose to go together, beginning a frantic rush through pounding rain, slippery paths, and near constant flashes of lightning. Trees sway violently around them, and for a moment, it feels like the entire forest might give way. There's real fear that their campsite could be destroyed, or that someone could get hurt trying to reach it. Miraculously, they make it back. The area looks rough, but not ruined. Tents are still upright, the firewood is mostly dry, and their string lights somehow remain illuminated. It's a strange mix of relief and shock as they walk through the aftermath. Later, they learn that the same storm system caused fatalities in nearby Kentucky the night before. It's a sobering reminder that severe weather isn't just dramatic, it can be deadly. What once felt like an unnecessary precaution, sleeping in the car, suddenly becomes the smartest decision they made. This encounter had nothing to do with paranormal activity or mysterious creatures, but the violent force of the storm brought its own kind of fear. It shows how quickly nature can shift from calm to dangerous, and how unprepared most people are when it happens. What would you have done in their situation? Push through the storm or abandon camp entirely? Share your thoughts, and if you've ever experienced something similar, tell us your story. Uploaded on July 10th, 2025, this video from the Northwest Wind follows a solo camping trip into one of Pennsylvania's most talked about Bigfoot hotspots. The creator spent 3 brutally hot days in a remote section of an enormous state forest, a region long associated with an unusually high number of alleged sightings. The video begins with a blend of dry humor and genuine curiosity. It's the final night of the trip, and the creator looks exhausted, overheated, bitten up, and running low on patience.
We are in the most active Bigfoot zone in Pennsylvania right now, and tonight we are going to try and summon Bigfoot to this campsite. So it's the last night of my trip at this lovely campsite. I've been out here for 3 days. Very moist, tired, flummoxed. We've eaten good, we've slept not good. We are out here in north central PA. I don't want to give away the state forest that I'm in. It's also along a very popular watershed with fishing and recreation and all kinds of stuff. Very, very isolated, but also a very, very big draw. If you're looking for Bigfoot and Sasquatch sightings, there's a very big concentration of those in this area. I'm out in Pennsylvania all the time. I've only had one encounter in Pennsylvania where I was not sure what I had encountered. It was something that's a human. It was a noise that I could not explain that sounded very ape-like, but also from far enough away that I had no semblance of it was or what it looked like or how big whatever it was from the top of a ridge in a steep river valley, kind of like one I'm in now. Since I've already been here for 2 days, camp is already set up. I filmed another camp last night, tent set up, bed stuff. I slept in it last night. We've got the Yeti cooler with we got some burgers and dogs. So we cooking Frankie, you know, like Uncle Frank from Home Alone. I do have some firewood, so we're going to build a nice, delicious, cozy fire tonight. Finally broke down and bought myself a thermocell, and let me tell you, I did not know what I was missing out on. I've put on so much bug spray the past 2 days that I've been out here that literally like burning my eyes and burning my forehead and my hands were so moisture, chafing. And it still was not keeping them.
Still, he decides to end the adventure by attempting to summon Bigfoot to his isolated campsite. Situated in north-central Pennsylvania, the site lies deep within a 145,000-acre stretch of forest, far removed from roads, crowds, and casual hikers.
Give you a little tour of the campsite. I'm set up over here. It's literally been 92 degrees for the past 3 days out here, so very hard to sleep, very moist. Luckily, I have my USB fan. I did not put my fly on my tent just for breathability's sake, sleeping with both doors and walls completely open. Last night was absolutely miserable. So it is what it is. I got one more night. We're going to fish again tomorrow and then go home and hopefully hang out with Bigfoot for a few minutes. Nice and secluded campsite though. Got a fire ring, which is nice. I did bring some wood. Gonna collect some little kindling and punky logs and we're gonna get a fire going after dinner. Got a nice campsite here. We are at the end of this road. The road dead ends right there. We are in a state forest. And I have the truck with me, meaning I'm able to be bougie. I've got power station in there. We've got the Yeti cooler, and we're down at the end of this road, but also down in this little hock down here. So I'm asking all of you. I don't know if I believe cold-hearted truth, fact, 100% in Bigfoot or Sasquatch or some kind of bipedal primate-style creature figure that lives in small populations in desolate rural areas. I see it as being very plausible or possible. I don't say it's impossible because it's definitely not. There's a lot of videos that you could tell are fake. There's a lot of videos and photos that are questionable. And there's a lot that are like, is that real? In my mind, there's only two possibilities. Either it's real or it's fake. We haven't explored every square foot of even Pennsylvania, for example, where I am right now. So could it be out there? Yes, I guess.
Though he doesn't reveal the name of the park, he mentions it sits near a well-known watershed visited for fishing and recreation. It's the kind of region where something large could remain hidden for decades. Despite having many camping experiences throughout the state, he recalls only one moment prior to this trip that gave him pause, a deep, guttural sound that didn't resemble any animal he could name. That memory gives this outing an extra layer of meaning, even though the overall tone stays lighthearted. With his camp already set up from the night before, he gives a quick walkthrough, a small fire ring, scattered equipment, and a minimal tent setup designed to maximize airflow during the intense heat. To battle the unending bugs, he tries out a new portable insect-repelling device he recently purchased and claims it's performing far better than expected. For his Bigfoot experiment, he follows a handful of traditions from cryptid folklore. He places an apple high in a tree and sets half a hot dog nearby. Simple offerings meant to draw the attention of anything curious that might be roaming the area.
Something just startled me up. I don't know what it was that woke me, but I was having deep, vivid dreams, and all of a sudden I was just wide awake, and I heard something. I want to say sounded like wood knocks, very close, maybe a couple 100 yards up the hill, like close though. I thought I heard it once, then I heard it again. Like, go back and watch my wood knocking, that's what it sounded like intentional wood knocking sounds. I haven't heard it since, but it's 100% what it sounded like. Just before 5 a.m. Actually been sleeping pretty good tonight. I did wake up to pee a few times and heard those knocks. Thought I heard what was, I don't know if it was just a growl of something, but something made a noise. But nothing that felt anything close to like, it was like but it was like not a 7-foot-tall hairy man sound. It's about 5:30. Light enough out right now. Where I'm just gonna get up, bite the bullet. I think just laying here for 40 more minutes-ish till my alarm goes off is not gonna do me any good, so we're gonna get up and start the day.
Throughout the evening, he performs a series of wood knocks at spaced intervals. According to Bigfoot enthusiasts, rhythmic knocks are believed to be a form of communication. He explains that while he's skeptical, he isn't dismissive. In his view, Bigfoot either exists or doesn't, and locations this remote leave plenty of room for possibilities. Along with the knocks, he also uses other common signaling tactics, striking rocks together and producing whoop vocalizations used by many investigators. Although he delivers some of this with a hint of comedy, the attempt feels earnest. As the night progresses, the atmosphere subtly shifts. In the early morning hours,
They're both still there. They're gone. Well, that gives me the Willie McGillies. They're both gone. The apple was up there. The hot dog was right here. That gives me the creeps, big time. It's daybreak, and I have more creeps than I did at any point during both of these nights I was out here. Let me see if the apple's down in these bushes or if something, maybe it fell, maybe something tried to take it and it went down, but I just got like a chill down my spine. So let's be realistic here. Odds are it was a squirrel or a raccoon or something that could easily climb the tree very much stealthily and quietly and took the hot dog or the apple off the branch. But just knowing that they were there, you know, about, I mean, you see how far behind me I was camped, you know, 100 feet, 150 feet, give or take. They were there and now they're not. I was convinced that they would still be there, that
he's jolted awake. Something startled him, and shortly afterward, he hears what he believes to be two clear wood knocks echoing from a ridge nearby, eerily similar to the ones he had made earlier. Though brief and impossible to verify, the moment is unsettling. At sunrise, the biggest surprise appears. Both the apple and the hot dog, placed in separate, obvious locations, have vanished. While wildlife is the most logical explanation, their silent disappearance overnight leaves him uneasy. He admits that seeing both offerings missing in daylight felt more disturbing than anything he experienced during the night itself. Despite his attempts to joke about it, a sense of uncertainty lingers. No tracks, no sounds, just empty spots where food once was. Though the trip produced no conclusive evidence, the sequence of events, the knocks, the sudden awakening, and the missing bait mirrors patterns commonly described in Bigfoot reports. At the same time, none of it rules out entirely ordinary animals. That unresolved tension, hovering between folklore and reality, is what makes the experience compelling. Were the knocks and missing food signs of something watching from the dark tree line? Or was it all, quite simply, coincidence mixed with hungry wildlife? Let me know what you think in the comments. On July 14th, 2025, Exploring with Bear returned with a new overnight trip into a location ominously known as Psychopath Bigfoot Forest. This time he wasn't alone. His wife Tiffany joined him, reluctantly agreeing to revisit the area after a disturbing incident during their previous visit. As darkness settles and the two get comfortable inside their tent, the evening begins with lighthearted conversation, but the atmosphere shifts quickly. A deep, low growl.
Welcome back to another adventure, fam. If you're new to the channel, I'm Jared Bear. For tonight's adventure, My beautiful white. Take 2.
Wolf.
Was that a wolf? Welcome back to another adventure, fam. If you're new to the channel, I'm Jared Bear. Tonight, me and my beautiful wife, Tiffany, have come back to Psychopath Forest, Bigfoot territory. I can't believe she agreed to come out. Why did you agree to come out with me again?
I didn't.
Well, holy smokes, that's a frickin' growl, man. Right outside the tent. That was a frickin' growl. That sounded so mean. You can hear it moving.
Far too close and unnervingly unnatural, echoes just outside. Moments later, branches snap under heavy weight, and the sound of deliberate, measured footsteps begins circling the tent. Bear quietly notes that whatever is out there is big and moving with intention.
So I am going to go out a couple times throughout the night and get some different shots of the forest, and I'll put those up throughout me and her. We're just going to stay in the tent then and find out, if anything happens. Last time our tent got hit.
What if it's just like a homeless person living out here,
I thought of that.
A lot of homeless people have... Never mind. What the freak?
Something just tapped on the tent. I don't know, but that was definitely a tap on the tent. Oh, that came up on camera. This is what's spooky too. So we can at least see this side because we've got some fire going still. But this way, we got that side open, but we can't see like what's on that side.
You have all these
And they can see right in at us. So that's sort of spooky. Yeah, they can see right in on us.
They stay inside, unsure of what exactly is lurking nearby. Could it be wildlife, a person, something else entirely? Bear remembers that during their last trip, something had actually hit their tent. Tonight, the situation feels even more intense.
Let's hear.
What? Bigfoot, my boy?
Bigfoot, my boy.
Jerry, I feel like the light is blinding me. I can't see a thing.
Nope, you are correct. That's how it feels to have a light at night, yeah. You can't see anything
Can't see anything.
around you. Yep.
Okay, so, and that's another scary thing. If something were to happen and we were attacked, I would have no sight, no vision.
But I'm out here, so you should feel good.
Is it? Well...
You'll hear me get attacked before anything.
Huh.
Yeah.
Whoop!
Whooping.
You know, I just thought, that's like the girl version. What if he's like, wants to mate?
People's commented that before. Like, what if it's like a mating call? And you're like inviting them for a good time. Whoop! No, we don't want that. We do not want that. We just want to hear that come back to us.
Then, something taps the tent's exterior, clear, distinct, and close enough to bring both of them to a standstill. Their fire illuminates only one side of the tent, leaving the opposite side facing the forest in total darkness. They debate whether to keep their flashlight on, realizing the glow may reveal their silhouettes. More sharp snapping sounds echo from the woods. At one point, Tiffany jokingly lets out a Bigfoot-style whoop into the forest. It's meant to lighten the tension, but Bear nervously wonders what would happen.
Holy smokes, that's a frickin' growl, man. Right outside the tent. That was a frickin' growl. That sounded so mean. You can hear it moving. Oh my goodness. Oh man, I'm glad Tiff didn't hear that, man. I just about grabbed my pants. For sure she would have grabbed her pants. Something just scraped across the tent. What in the world is that? Listen. What was that?
If that sound functioned as an actual call, and whether something might respond. Later, Bear notices a faint, flickering light deeper in the woods. He questions whether someone, or something, might be out there. The sound of heavy branches breaking grows louder. Another growl rings out, this one closer and more forceful, leaving Bear visibly shaken. He continues recording quietly, trying to stay composed while documenting what's happening in real time. Throughout the night, the noises don't stop. Something seems to move around the tent, pacing, circling, and creating the unsettling impression of being watched. At one point, something drags along the tent wall. Bear whispers to viewers, telling them to watch the background closely for possible reflections or shapes. Even though every instinct tells him to step outside, he remains inside, knowing that venturing out could be dangerous. As the night comes to a close, Bear signs off by thanking viewers and encouraging them to like and subscribe if they enjoyed the video. He hints at more unnerving adventures to come. Some viewers suggested the growls were the result of territorial wildlife, possibly a bear or mountain lion. Others argued the pattern of movement and the unusual noises pointed towards something more intelligent, whether a cryptid like Bigfoot or someone intentionally trying to frighten them. The mysterious light spotted in the forest led to even more speculation. Was there another person out there, quietly observing? Was this simply an encounter with aggressive wildlife, or something far more sinister? And if something or someone was watching from the tree line, why didn't it approach? Or was it waiting for the right moment? This Australia-based YouTube channel focuses on researching and documenting Yowie-related activity. On this particular outing, the creator heads out alone to revisit a familiar location known for previous unusual discoveries. The plan is simple: return to a known spot, cook noodles, eat an apple, a personal ritual, and spend time listening for strange sounds while scanning the ground for prints. Historically, the most interesting encounters have taken place in the afternoon, hoping for similar conditions.
So I'm coming out now, check the usual spot for prints. I've probably only got like a good 2 hours out here, so I got to head home. But I'm going to do what we always do, and it's good because we haven't been out in a while in the afternoons with this time. It's usually always morning, early morning now. But every time I've had my encounters, experiences, whatever you want to call them, have been, well, the main two, it's sticky. I forgot I should have left my sunnies in the car. The main two have been at this time in the afternoon, a little bit later, but I'll be sitting out there and listening. So it's good that we're out here today at this time. And like I said, same thing again. Head up to the rock pools, I'm going to cook some noodles because I'm bloody starving. And then, listen, go up to the X marker, maybe sit up near there, see if that other weird animal, that mammal that we saw last time, which it looked like a quoll, like an orange quoll. It was bigger than a possum. But since then I was told that possums can have this genetic thing where they go all orange or red, like a red possum or something they call it. I don't know, I gotta look up, but that's what I've been told. And I was like, oh, that could have been what it was, because we're not standing up on its back legs, scratching or sniffing at the tree at the base of
The creator sets off, noting that recent trips were mostly done in the early morning hours. Some of the most memorable past incidents also occurred later in the day, reinforcing the choice to return at this time. After a short walk, the host arrives at the usual area and begins the routine.
So this here's the crossing where we found that possible juvenile print. No way. Is this the same one? Look at this. This is old, but the big toe goes right up around the outside again. So that's a right foot then. And that's the exact same. Where'd it go from there? You can see that line there, really wide. This one again, really wide. It's like the exact same dimensions that we've been finding. Where's it go from there? In the water? I don't know. Like, unless this is just a kid with an extremely wide foot and a huge big toe. It's bigger than an average adult's toe. Look, that's pretty much what we've been finding. And this has been found, as you've seen from the other videos, way up the creek that we go. And no one in their right mind would let their fucking kid go that far up barefoot. But being that they've been that far up barefoot, we didn't find any others.
As the trek continues, attention is drawn to a familiar creek crossing where a footprint impression is spotted. It appears unusually wide, with a large, defined toe, similar to prints previously documented farther upstream. While acknowledging the possibility of a distorted human track or a prank, the absence of other human prints and the impression's consistent width, depth, and toe placement raise questions. To provide context, The creator compares it with a nearby boot print, pointing out the differences. Typical boot marks show curvature or an arch near the heel, unlike this broad, flat impression. These contrasts contribute to speculation about a possible Yowie origin, though no firm conclusions are made.
High activity here from kangaroos. That's way more than usual. So more game in the area. We go up there, which that leads up over to the top of the dam. More game in the area is a good thing. For predators, it's hard to be quiet. It's either mine or someone else's. Last time I came, so there's someone else's that's been up here. It could still be up here. Might come across them. Maybe they've got a kid with extremely large feet.
Farther down the trail, there's noticeable kangaroo and wallaby activity, far more than usual. This could indicate a richer prey environment, and by extension, potentially more predator movement, assuming creatures like Yowie exist.
It's just an odd spot for a rock to be by itself. It's been pulled out of the bank somewhere. It's just sitting there. You can see all the dirt around it from where it landed. Maybe it was thrown, but you can see it's been pulled out. Not sure from where. I dare say this was someone. Two different sticks. I just don't think there'd be a reason for them to do it like that. Like Yowies, if that's the case. I reckon someone's done that. It's come up here, maybe watching my videos, who knows. But I don't think that was, Yowie done. Of course, no one's an expert. I'm not an expert, I don't know. But that just looks like something that a human would do. Specifically with this subject being what it is in this area. I'm pretty open about where I go. That's the person. I'll check the footage from before and see if that was there on the way up just then. Because if it wasn't, then that's going to be very interesting.
The host remains cautious, recognizing how easily assumptions can form in the wilderness. Near the rock pools, an apple and some gear are left unattended in hopes of observing any interaction while temporarily away. Along the path, an oddly positioned rock is found, seemingly pulled from the creek bank and dropped in an unnatural manner. Two sticks, arranged in a deliberate pattern, are also discovered, resembling possible markers. Though interesting, the creator avoids making claims, suggesting they could simply be the actions of other people, maybe even viewers familiar with the channel. Upon returning to the site, the apple and equipment remain untouched. However, the host notices that the phone inexplicably stopped recording a portion of the trek, likely a technical issue, though it adds to a growing list of strange coincidences experienced on previous outings. The trip ends with a bowl of noodles under a calm afternoon sky. Despite the host's skeptical outlook, the repeated appearance of nearly identical prints across multiple isolated locations, all uniform in size and shape, remains difficult to dismiss. The seemingly intentional placement of natural objects might be coincidence, but the context makes them feel more deliberate than random. Could all of this be explained by subtle human activity and misinterpretation, or is something truly elusive leaving signs in this remote part of Australia? On June 28, 2025, the YouTube creator Mandog Wild released a solo overnight camping video documenting a challenging ascent deep into the mountains. His mission had two goals: to push himself through an off-trail wilderness trek and to investigate a long-abandoned ridgetop dwelling tied to unsettling local legends. The destination he sets out to find is remote and uncharted, mentioned only through vague accounts. Positioned along a high ridge, the structure was once home to a reclusive individual known as the Hermit, a mysterious figure rumored to have lived alone for years before disappearing without explanation. While some locals confirm the cabin's existence, few are willing to revisit it, often describing an oppressive or uneasy feeling associated with the place.
So what adventure lies ahead today? Well, we're heading somewhere remote, unsettling, and largely undocumented. I'm on a quest to discover and explore an abandoned house in these mountains, abandoned by a man simply known as the Hermit. Upon discovery of the house, if we do find it, we'll be having ourselves a little solo overnight inside, depending on conditions, because I don't know obviously what it's like inside. It could be full of shit. To get to this place, it's no easy task. There's no roads and no trails. All I know is the estimated location, and that's basically where I have to look. So the legend goes that this man lived here completely alone for decades until one day he just completely vanished. No body, no note, just silence. So tonight I'll be camping in here alone to investigate the rumors of strange lights, voices echoing through the mountains, among other paranormal activity.
After a strenuous climb through untouched terrain, the YouTuber finally reaches the house. Despite years of abandonment, the interior remains surprisingly intact. While surveying the property, he notices a circular man-made formation nearby, possibly an old sealed well. Once inside, he sets up a minimalist camp, using only the essentials, and begins his investigation as daylight fades. He starts a ghost box session, using a device believed to allow spirits to manipulate audio frequencies to form short words. Strangely, the device remains completely silent at first, something he finds more unnerving than immediate responses, especially given the dark history connected to the property. Eventually,
So starting with the ghost box, we're just going to ask some questions. It basically works through a frequency that allows spirits to pick up on the electrical energies of the software, and the software has words in them allowing basically spirits to use energy to communicate. So are there any spirits in the area, in the mountains, in the home with me tonight? Okay, we're back. The app just crashed randomly. So it's interesting. It's interesting because
the box begins emitting brief phrases like bottle and outside, referencing items he had placed around the area. He checks, but finds nothing out of place. He continues scanning the grounds with infrared gear in hopes of spotting movement or orbs, but the footage shows only dust and particles. One of the night's most notable issues is rapid battery drain. Even though he charged all his equipment earlier in the day, multiple devices lose power unexpectedly, a pattern he notes has occurred during past paranormal outings.
Can you tell me your name?
Keep recording.
Keep recording? Why, are you going to do something? It's very difficult for me to keep recording because I am such low battery on both. Right now, this is actually a real big struggle, but I'm going to keep recording. Is there anything you want to tell me? And it's crazy because I've had these devices on power banks all afternoon.
I want one.
You want one? I don't show it on camera, but I just lit up a cigarette. You want a cigarette? I know everyone seems to smoke here. I don't suppose you're any different. Okay.
As the night progresses, documenting the experience becomes increasingly difficult due to the repeated failures. Later, the ghost box produces more cryptic phrases, including, "I'm following you, examine, and not for you." However, no physical activity accompanies the responses, aside from faint echoing sounds drifting across the mountains, which he attributes to natural acoustics. The rest of the night remains relatively still. By morning, fatigued and unsettled, he packs up and reflects on the experience. Although no dramatic supernatural events occurred, the combination of electronic malfunctions, the heavy silence, and the unsettling story of the hermit leaves the location with a lingering sense of mystery. The lack of obvious signs, footsteps, voices, or visual anomalies almost makes the atmosphere feel intentionally withheld, as though something was present but chose not to reveal itself. Was the hermit's disappearance simply explained by history, lost over time? Or is there something deeper about this mountain home that resists being understood? Let us know your thoughts below. This YouTube channel focuses on adventure-style vlogging, blending exploration with elements of mystery, risk, and curiosity. The host, Tom, frequently ventures into restricted or heavily rumored locations, including some of the most secretive places in the United States, such as Area 51. His videos often combine suspense, dry humor, and authentic, unfiltered reactions to the unexpected. On March 28, 2017, Tom and his team traveled to the remote desert border surrounding the infamous military base. Almost immediately, they began noticing subtle indicators of military presence, dusty roadways that looked routinely driven, fresh tire impressions, and local chatter about camouflage patrol units operating nearby. They also spot Ford Raptors cruising through the area, vehicles commonly associated with base security, reinforcing the impression that they may be edging too close to restricted territory.
There's the dirt road, 10, 15, 20 miles. I don't know how far to area one. Jesus. Freaking asshole. Does that mean I can't take any video? Alright, so we found a sort of back trail. I don't know exactly what it's used for. Maybe one of the trails of the camel guys, military police security, something, because hill that they sit on, it's up over that, right over there. I swear this is just the most beautiful area, way underrated. Here, let's get higher up here.
Determined to get a better vantage point, the team follows an unmarked dirt road in hopes of gaining elevation for a distant look at the facility. As they hike across the terrain, they point out ridges believed to be used by security personnel, likely stationed on high ground to monitor activity around the perimeter.
So the security guys have that Ford Raptor. I don't know, I don't see any road or tire tracks right over in this spot, although there is a walking path. Or a path for something. So up over that hillside is where they are. It's like a mile, half mile, something like that though. So we're thinking if we get up over to this ridge, we might get a look at something. It's never ending, I swear to God. Oh fuck. Lisa, get the keys, go! Go! Fuck, go, go, go!
While crossing one of these ridges, they experience an unexpected and deeply unsettling moment. A pale or tan-colored figure appears for just a brief instant in the distance. Its coloring blends seamlessly with the surrounding landscape, making it incredibly hard to distinguish from the terrain. The appearance feels unnatural and out of place, enough to trigger an immediate reaction from the team. Without hesitation, they back away from the area and rush toward their vehicle. Nothing about the moment feels staged or exaggerated. Their response appears genuine, as if they truly believed they had encountered a threat. It's possible the figure was a person wearing tactical camouflage or a specialized bodysuit designed to blend into desert conditions, a method sometimes used to deter people from approaching sensitive locations. If the encounter was intended as a warning, it was effective. The team wasted no time retreating. While the footage does not provide a clear explanation, the sighting raises questions about the level of surveillance and ground activity in these highly controlled zones. Was it a security operative deliberately showing themselves to force the group back? Or was it something entirely different? The figure's ability to blend so perfectly into the landscape suggests intentional design and a purpose behind the appearance. Was this simply government security enforcing an invisible boundary? Or did Tom and his crew come much closer to something strange than they ever expected? What do you think was standing on the other side of that ridge? That's it for tonight. Which moment creeped you out the most? Drop it in the comments. Have your own story? Share it with us, and stay tuned. The next one is even darker.